So, today's class we are going to start next chapter in chemistry. So that is what chapter number 3, atoms and molecules. So this is the most important chapter, but actually now the major concept is deleted in this. But still it is many important concepts which will come in stoichiometry, class 11, chemistry stoichiometry. So these atoms and molecules, what is this atoms and molecules? So you can see in this chapter, mainly we'll discuss about molecules. So what kind of molecules means? See, we can have two kinds of molecules. One is molecules of a element. Do you understand everybody what I'm saying? And molecules of a compound. So that is what we used to call it as a molecules. So first of all, last chapter you studied what is atoms and what is molecules. Am I right, everyone? Please respond, guys. All of you. Hello. Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So molecules means more than one atom is present. That is what we used to say. Like even atoms, you have studied in second chapter. Difference between atom and molecule. Check it, everybody. You studied or not? There will be a tabular columns. So atom and molecule. So more than one atom. What atom? Same atoms are atoms of different elements. Different elements will form the what actually? Molecules. But atoms of same element, that is what? Atoms of same element will give you the molecule of a element. And atoms of different elements will give you the molecule of a compound. So if I take for example, H2O, two hydrogen atoms, one oxygen atom. So this is actually what? Molecule of a what, everybody? Compound or element? H2O is a molecule of a compound or element? Please respond. It is the molecule of a what, Ra? Tell me. It is a molecule of a what?
Compound.
Compound. Because two different elements are existed. If I write, for example, S8, sulfur is existed always 8 atoms of sulfur together. So this is the what actually, everybody? Molecule of element. Do you understand it? Same atoms are present more than one. That is the differences between molecules. So here mainly we'll discuss about molecules formed by different atoms. That is what we used to call it as. What is to call, everybody?
Compound.
Compounds. Okay. So let us see in this chapter what is our idea, what is our work we are going to study here is main thing. Laws of chemical combination. The most important concepts which we are going to study here is laws of chemical combination. So we'll discuss, of course, even 11th again it will come. Keep it in mind, everybody. Next, Dalton's atomic theory. Next, we are going to discuss what an atom it is exactly. What an atom, according to you, what you have knowledge, that is what. Next, how big are the atoms? How big means size of the atoms. How big are the atoms? Next, we are going to see symbols of elements. Like today, what is the hydrogen symbol? Everybody speak loudly. What is the hydrogen symbol? All of you? H. What is the oxygen symbol? O. What is the carbon symbol? C. What is the carbon symbol? Cu. How you are choosing this, the symbols? How ancient time people are using? That is all we are going to discuss. That is what
No
symbol.
doubt, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Tell me. Ask me, Ram.
Sir, what is that atomic theory name, sir?
Dalton's atomic theory. Dalton's. Clear?
Yes, sir.
DAL, sorry. DALTONS. We'll discuss, don't worry. Next. Main thing, most important concept. How do atoms existed? That is what it is. Atoms exist. See, this is what is the concepts we are going to learn in this chapter. So if somebody will ask what you learned in this chapter, after end of the chapter, you should know this one. Next, the most important one is valency. Next one, chemical formula. So from here, do you know one thing, guys? This chapter, we are having importance in class 10th also. You cannot solve any single equation without a knowledge on these atoms and molecules in class 10th even. That is the importance of this chapter. So from here, everything will come in the class 10th again. So chemical formula. Without this, you people cannot solve anything. Again, I'm saying. So next, measurement of atomic mass and molecular mass. Do you know one thing? When we start the class 10th chemistry, again we'll ask you to read the class 9th, this chapter only mainly. So why means by the time you'll understand the importance of chemical formula. Without knowing the chemical formula and how to write the chemical formula, none of you can do anything in the class 10th because their formula is only important. Valency is only important. How to write correct formula is only important for balancing equations and whatever the concepts you learn there. Next, that's what measurement of atomic mass and molecular
Sir,
mass.
what is meant by molecular mass, sir?
Molecular mass means mass of a molecule. For example, if I measure the mass of hydrogen atom, atomic mass. If I measure the mass of a water, molecule, like that's what, mass of a molecule of a water, then it is a molecular mass. We'll discuss it. Okay, Mari? So don't
Yes,
worry.
sir.
So next we are going to study composition of compound. Composition of a compound, and then the deleted concept for you for a school, that is what we used to call it as a mole concept. So this is the toughest concept till last year for class 9 student, but luckily it is deleted for you people. So but still we have to study that. So it is having a greater importance in always stoichiometry, chemistry stoichiometry. So that is what you have to remember. Okay, so I hope you all clear. Shall we start now? Good morning, Pranav. Good morning, Nivedan. So this is the most important concept, so which you all need to study. This third chapter and fourth chapter is really very, very important. So that's why. So make complete attention. If anybody having any doubt, small doubt also, you can ask me. Okay. So let us start now. If you have taken basically, all of you remember. So this atoms and molecules is not the concept started at now. If you have taken. So basically, we can see in our surroundings, what is our nature, humans? I take me, myself, or I take any one of you. So always you see, we want to lead basically a comfortable and easy life. Everybody wants to get the things easier, make the things easier. So that is why always we will try to change our surroundings. We'll try to fix something in our surroundings. So that is what we know very well. There is a matter in our surroundings. By changing certain properties of this matter, we will get many required things in our life. That is what I can say. Is like you can see, we can change the properties of matter which is present in our surroundings. Like, what do you mean by matter? Everybody, you all people knows. You might be studied. What do you mean by matter? Anyone? What do you mean by matter? Any one of you? Any substance which will occupies what?
Space and have volume.
Substance which will occupies space, okay, and having mass, not volume. Okay, that is what we used to call it as a matter. So you can see now. So if you want to make your life comfortable, definitely we want to fix certain things in our surroundings. But how to fix? What is this matter made up of? What way I can change the properties? What is the physical state of matter? How it will be existed? For example, if I take matter will be basically existed in 3 states. What is that? We all people knows, all of you. Solid state. Yes, please respond.
Liquid gas.
Liquid state and
Liquid gas.
gaseous state.
Yes.
Yes. So what is the properties? How you are classified this? That is what matter based upon the chemically how you classified the matter. So physically we classified as a solid, liquid and gas in previous chapter. Chemically how you classified? Anybody can tell? Chemically we classified matters. Yes, please. We classified what?
Sir, Bose-Einstein.
Yes. So we classified into elements, we classified into compounds, where another thing which we studied in last chapter. Everybody, we classified into, yes, please, mixture. Do you understand? So that is what. So if you have taken element, what you studied in the last chapter, I want definition. Just I am making you everything. Yes, tell me, everyone. Element. What do you mean by element?
Basic form of matter.
Yes, element is the purest form of
Cannot be
matter.
divided into two.
Yes, it is formed by only one type of atoms or different types of atoms. Everybody,
Single type of atom.
only one type of atoms. So that is what we used to call it as a atoms. Sorry, elements. Do you understand, everybody? So element means only one type of atoms is existed. So that is what we used to call it as a element. If I take compound, what do you mean by compound? Everybody, girls, Agalya, what do you mean by compound, you know? Yes, please. Speak, guys. What do you mean by compound? Everyone. Hasani Sudhaka. Yes, please. Tell me. Somebody called to Samra. Please respond. What do you mean by compound? Compound example solunga ellame. What is the examples of compound? Carbon dioxide, water. Next, tell me. Sulfuric acid. Next, you tell HCl, hydrochloric acid. These all are, we used to call it as a what? Everybody. Please respond.
Compound.
Compound.
Examples of compound. Now, all of you see in compound, how many elements are present? Is it same type of atoms or different types of atoms? That is what is my question. Everybody.
Different type of atoms.
Different
Yes.
type of
Different types of atoms. Now, if I take in carbon dioxide in Pudukkottai, the Pudukkottai CO2, PDKT CO2. So what is the number of carbon atoms in CO2? Everybody? Number of carbon atoms in CO2. Please
One.
speak, guys. One. Oxygen, how many?
two.
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 If I go to Chennai Central, I will take carbon dioxide there. There also, how many will be there? Everybody. Number of
One is
carbon atoms. Number
one.
of carbon atoms, one. I'll take oxygen, two. So if I notice it here, the ratio remains fixed or not? Fixed proportion. Am I right or wrong? Everybody speak loudly, guys. All of you. That is what is compound. So compound is having different atoms, more than one atom, but they are having a fixed proportion. That is very, very important. Do you understand, Ra? What I'm saying, everybody? Yes, Mr. Sam sleeping late. Bad boy. So do you understand, Ra? What is that, Murray? Lingesh? So
Yes, sir.
compounds means what you studied.
Yes,
Last chapter you might be studied compounds means having more than one elements made up of different atoms, but different atoms and they have a fixed proportion. That is you have to remember. Are you understand, everybody? Yes, please.
yes, sir.
So that is what. So compounds, if you have taken, they are more than one elements. They contains atoms of two or more elements. two or more elements in fixed proportion. But if it comes to the mixture, is it fixed proportion? If it comes to the mixture, is it fixed proportion? That is what I'm asking. Everybody.
No, sir.
Mixtures do not have fixed proportion. So mixtures again two types. What is that? Anybody? You all studied.
Homogeneous,
and
heterogeneous.
Very good,
heterogeneous.
Gokul. So again homogeneous, again heterogeneous. So that's fine. These mixtures do not have fixed proportion. So that is what we used to call it as a mixture. So mixture, no chemically bonded, but in compounds, atoms are chemically bonded and they are having a particular proportion always. So that is what you have to remember. Anybody having any doubt, please let me know. Do you all understand what is chemically? Physically, we classified the matter into three states: solids, liquids, and gases. Chemically, we classified into elements, compounds, and mixtures. So what is elements, everybody? Only one type of atoms or different types of atoms? Elements means, everybody?
Single type of atom.
Single type of atoms. Compounds means two or more than. Understanding? Or different types of atoms of elements are present. So that is what it is called it as a compounds. Now, if I have taken here different substances, if you see in our surroundings, so we know that atoms are the basic constituents of matter. If you take any type of matter in our surroundings, so atoms are the fundamental unit of matter. So please note it, everybody. The first point which I have to remember is, all of you, atoms are the fundamental units of matter. So the most important point it is. So if there is no atoms are existed, is it possible that matter will be existed, everybody? No atoms, no matter. So different substances shows different behavior. For example, if it is sugar is made up of sugar atom, salt is made up of salt atom, if some other substance is made up of some other atoms. So, but everything, atoms are the basic unit of every matter. But you remember, different matters will shows different behavior or same behavior. Everybody? Suppose sugar and salt, is they
Behavior.
both will shows the same behavior or different behavior? Everybody?
Different behavior.
Different behavior.
Why? Because they made up of
Different atom.
Different atoms or elements.
different structure, different composition, understanding? And the properties of constituent particles is different. Everything is different. Oxygen atom, different behavior. Hydrogen atom, different behavior. Understanding? Nitrogen atom, different behavior. Like that. Every different atom is having different behavior. So that is what is the concept will start. And now with this, then what happens about these atoms? So who has been formed, who has been identified atoms, who has been given a definition of atoms, what is the history of this atom? So let us make it quick for fastly. I don't want to stress more on this, but let us make it. So here also you can see our ancient India and Greek philosophers proposed that around 500 BC, imagine almost 500 BC, an Indian philosopher, Maharshi Kannad, just for one or two lines, that's all. So later is not at all required. So they will never ask you also anything. So Maharshi Kannad around 500 BC, he is the first one who has been given an idea that Indian philosopher, there is no mathematical or scientific proof, only philosophers he is. So he said that matter is not continuous, but it is divisible. So that is what. But according to him, a continuous division of matter, we can have the ultimate particle where we cannot cut it. That is what indivisible further. For example, like a bread piece. If this is a bread piece, cut into 2, cut into 4, cut into 8, cut into 10, cut into 100, cut into 200, like that infinity number of particles. I will get a small particle which is further indivisible. You understanding, everybody? All of you? Please respond, guys. So that is further indivisible, means it is not possible to cut further. That is the smallest particle which Mr. Maharshi call it as a Paramanu. What we to call, everybody? Nothing has been said. That's what we used to call it as a matter. So what will happen, everybody? When you are cutting the matter is actually divisible.
So what did he say, sir? Can you please
What
repeat
exactly he said? For example, I have given you some matter, man. You don't know. So if you are keep on cutting, keep on cutting, keep on cutting, cutting, at last you will get a smallest particle, ultimate particle where you cannot cut further. That particle which is not further divisible, that is what he is to call it as a Paramanu. That is only we used to say atom. Do you understand what I'm saying? That is what we used to say it. Clear, guys? Everybody? Please respond. So that is what Mr. Maharshi Kannad said. If your matter is not a continuous, but it is divisible. It is divisible, but if you keep on cutting, cutting, at last you will get a smallest particle where further division is not takes place. Further, it is not possible to divisible. That is what indivisible particle will obtain. That indivisible particle only he name it as a
The
Paramanu.
matter is not
Not
continuous.
continuous, but divisible. Means it is not going to be permanent, but it will be divisible. That is what you have to remember. Understand? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Everybody, please respond. That is what. Then, after that, after Mr. Maharshi Kannad, another Indian philosopher, Pakuda Kathyayana. Pakuda. These all are Takshashila students. Okay. So, Indian ancient university. So, Kathyayana. Okay. Katyayana. Kathyayana. So,
So
Pakuda
what is that
Kathyayana.
harmonavas?
What, Mari?
The term of atom.
Atom Paramanu. P-A-R-M-A-N-U. Paramanu. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Yeah. Next. Pakuda Katyayana. He actually extended this theory which is proposed by Maharshi Kannad. That is what we can say. He doctrined and proposed that these Paramanu generally existed in combined form. This Paramanu existed in combined form. So more than one atom combined, we used to call it as something. What we used to call? Everybody? Yes, please. Yes,
Molecule.
compound. What girl? Always compound only. Compound is different atoms. So Paramanu,
Molecule.
atoms are existed in combined form. Yes, please respond. What is that?
Molecule.
Molecule. That is what Mr. Pakuda Katyayana said. He said, Paramanu generally exist in combined form. Combined form. And he call it as a, what he called everybody? Molecules. Okay. So that is what you have to remember. So scientist names and all very important. So even general life also people will ask many exams and all. Next. After that, that's why we say Indian and Greek philosophers both. These are the two Indian ancient Greek ancient philosophers. One is Mahर्षि Kannad, second one is Pakuda Kathyayana. And now a Greek philosophers came into the scene. So their name is Democritus and as well as Lucy pups. Okay, so these are the Lucy pups. So these are the two scientists gave the same exact idea, and they called these particles, this paramanu is called it as a atoms. That is the word we are using till today. Atoms means, according to the Greek, which is indivisible. That is what is the meaning of atom. According to the Greek, atoms means it is indivisible. That is what is the same concept given by Mr. Democritus and Lucy Fox. Both are Greek.
Sir, he said that the indivisible form of matter is known as
Same.
atom.
What Mr. Maharshi Kannad said, if you are keep on cutting, at last we will get a indivisible particle. That is only call it as a matter. Clear?
Yes, sir. Then what did these Greek scientists said, sir?
They also said same thing, but instead of paramanu, they call it as a atom. That's all. According to Greek, atoms means indivisible. That's all. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah. Next. Atoms after, you can see almost, if you have taken now, we come to conclude that what is atoms means, atoms are indivisible. Later, the scientist who came forward and he has been formed a theory about the structure of atoms and molecules. That is what we used to call it as a, that is the most popular one. After this, the properties of matter, that entire chemistry has been changed. That is many new things has been formed in the chemistry. That is what Mr. John Dalton gave a theory. That is what we used to call it as a Dalton's atomic theory. It is a revolution in chemistry. Like imagine after his, it is a completely a new era of chemistry. John Dalton's atomic theory. So all the ideas on the divisibility of matter, everything is based upon philosophical considerations without validating them experimentally. So that is what every Greek scientist, our Greek philosophers, Indian philosophers, no mathematical or no validating them experimentally, just words alone they spoke. They form a laws which are orally, we can say, no mathematical, no scientifical, experimentally, they have been proved. But by the end of 18th century, scientists recognized the difference between elements and compounds mathematically. Then it will create the interest of scientists to understand why and how these different substances will combine. That is how in 18th century, they start identifying the properties of matter, how the compounds are forming, what is the force which combines them, how they are existed together. This all the things, it has been imagined. 500 BC, they have been formed the laws, and the 18th century only, we people came to know the exact phenomena of formation of compounds and as well as molecules. So how they are combining and all, it has been found in only 18th century. So that is what a first scientist, father of chemistry, that is what we used to call it as a Antony Lavoisier. He is the first scientist. See, till now I have used a what is that? Philosophers. Understand everyone? Now it is a what, everybody? Antony Lavoisier is a what actually? He is the
Sir, is
scientist.
John Dalton
John
is
Dalton also scientist.
sure.
He is also our recent centuries only. 18th century only. Okay. So Antony Lavoisier is the scientist who first proposed the law of chemical combination. Please note it, everybody. A first scientist who proposed the laws of chemical combination. So the laws what we are going to study, you can see the first concept what we are going to study in this chapter. What is that? Laws of chemical combination. That is given by whom? Everybody? Anthony Lavoisier. Understand? So, with the help of these laws, of course, according to your book, you have only 2 laws for class 9, but there is a 3 laws. Even 11th class, that law will come. But of course, if time permits, we will do that also. So, if you notice it here, with the help of the laws which is proposed by Anthony Lavoisier, we are going to study the phenomena of combination of substances and what is the exact concept behind it. Everything can be understood very easily. So that is what we are going to start. The most important concept, again class 11th also it will be repeating. So that is only we used to call it as a laws of chemical combination. From here, each concept is having a greater importance and you have to show the interest and you have to learn it. So laws of chemical combination. So experimentally, I may not able to show you, but definitely I will explain you the maximum. So the laws of chemical combination, the laws which is proposed by Anthony Lavoisier, so they are guiding laws to know how and why the different elements combine. So these laws are helpful for us. How much reactants will be required, how much products will be coming. This all the things like we can say, they are helpful in measuring quantitative measurements of products and reactants. You might be studied even 7th and 8th also. Chemical reactions already we studied. Am I right or wrong? Everybody, will you all agree with me? Chemical reactions, please respond. So in every chemical reaction, 2 things will be there. Before arrow, we will take it as a what, everybody? Reactants. And after arrow, what will get, everybody? After reaction, we'll get a product. So these laws of chemical combination, they will helpful to know how much reactants is required to obtain the desired amount of products. That is what they will help us in quantitative measurement. Note it, measurement of reactants and products. What is the importance of laws of chemical combination? This is the importance. Do you understand it? They will help us. They are guiding laws to know the difference between why the different elements combine. That is the first point. They will help us to know how and why. How and why different elements combine, and they will help us to calculate the quantitative measurement of reactants and products. That is the importance of
So
law
help
of
us to
chemical
know
combination.
why.
Help us to know how and why different elements combine. Clear? Help